There's no special remedy to falling in love except knowing that you are ready and available to do the work that comes along with letting another person be attached to you when you're attracted to them to build that connection we call a relationship. Welcome back to Along the Spiritual Journey. So, the thing that I have learned on my own journey and talking with family and friends and learning this experience that we all go through when we go into relationships, the key factor that always comes up is, why did your relationship end? And it's usually, oh, well, I had something from my past and they had something from their past and we just didn't see eye to eye, or we couldn't just work through our differences because I'm so used to things being this way and they're so used to being things this way. And when we came together, we weren't willing to change. And then we go back to our separate worlds and then we recite the same pattern of, why is nothing happening for me? Why is there no one good for me? Why is it that things never work out for me? And we continue to perpetuate this idea and identity that we don't deserve love or love is not looking for us, when in reality, it's all about knowing when you step out of your own mud. So many of us, again, we're all born in some level of darkness, but some of us come out and we come out into mud. And you're trying to always wash it off, but the thing about mud is you're always going to find some smear of it somewhere unless you totally submerge it, dip it into that water and cleanse it off to get all that mud away, because once it dries, you're going to see streaks and stuff if you just wipe it down. And so this is the same way I look at the human energy and experience along with the spiritual experience and identity that we say we're attracted to, either a soulmate or that physical body and attraction of a twin flame, right? I like to remind people that energy work means you're asking questions and getting answers. That's it. That's as simple as I can make it. You don't have to resolve anything, but you will end up resolving something if you get the right answers. As long as you are going out and saying, listen, this traumatic thing happened to me. This thing keeps triggering me. What is it? Instead of pushing it back down and stuffing it back in and acting like it doesn't exist, no, I'm pulling this out right here, right now. I don't care if it's going to make a mess. I can clean it up. I have enough space now, enough clear space, enough open floor that I can pour this out right here and it's not going to go anywhere and contaminate anything. We're going to clean this up right now and sort it out. That's the work. I literally have stuff that I didn't recognize that came from my dad's energy and my mom's energy. And at one point, I was like, when I was dating, I was chasing this idea of love and creation and this fast-paced, romanticized thing that I definitely know I got from my dad. And then I was also living my mom's energy, where it was about being reserved and holding back and making sure that I'm protecting my energy. But I was overly protecting my energy at some point. So I had to learn from that. So it was like not overgiving, not undergiving. It's always about finding yourself in the middle. Because again, we are a spectrum and a barometer. See, the spectrum is I'm masculine and feminine. The barometer is when and how I choose to use that energy is up to me. So when I do interact in relationships, I'm not being triggered on my masculine side, nor am I being triggered on my feminine side. They're going to be things that make you remember. Okay, those are those moments of, I remember that. But because I worked through it, I don't feel bad about it. It doesn't hurt me. It becomes a trigger when it's like, I remember that. And I'm still pissed off about it. And I'm not forgiving. And now I'm going to take that old thing from the past and apply it to all my new stuff. Because I was really hurt. And I remember how hurt it hurt me. So now I'm going to make sure I remember how much it hurt me again and keep applying it to every new situation. That's what we keep doing in relationships. And then we pour all of that onto someone and expect them to carry it. When in reality, they're just meant to hold space for you. Which looks like, even though you're falling apart, even if you're being irrational, even if you seem like you're not on your best day, I am not going to discard you or abandon you because I don't see you as perfect right now. It doesn't matter if your partner sees you as perfect in every moment, because that's what we do when we meet each other. We try to be perfect. We try to act like we have no issues. But those issues are always going to arise, right? Somebody said it before, one of the tarot readers I watch, Butch Tarot, and he's like, it's like a baby elephant in the room. It's cute in the beginning, but if you keep ignoring stuff, eventually it's going to keep growing and growing and growing, and it's going to get bigger, and you ain't going to be able to ignore it because it's a huge grown elephant sitting in your house, and you just like, no, it's fine. Nothing's there. Everything's good. Which is why the elephant in the room is a term, because it's you can't get past that no matter how much you try to pretend it's not there. Like, I don't see it. You don't see how you be lashing out at partners. You don't see how you be dragging people and shutting down and not letting people in. Like, that's all a part of knowing how you attract a partner. And when we say if you're still wounded or healed, it's not that you can't meet people in those states of healing, but if you know that you're an open wound and you know you're a mess, let your partners know. Be honest. Don't mask it and put on a front and act like you're something that you're not. And then when they find out how much of you are masking, and then that's the part they say, I can't handle. It's not that it's you and the issue they could never handle. It was the accumulation of you holding back and hiding and then just dumping it on them. And now it's a whole new space of like, is this what they're going to do to me all the time? Is this how it's always going to be? And that makes you start feeling like you can't trust your partner, because it's like, if you can't tell me how you're feeling in that moment and you're holding back, what else are you holding back from me? So when I meet people, I can be as ready as I want to be. And I tell people, it's not about picking someone just because you're ready. I've heard someone say that. Just pick anyone and just go with it. No, 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 no. That's how you end up in transactional relationships, because yes, you might be ready, but you just pick someone that you don't know and you're not attracted to, or you're not emotionally open or drawn to. You just have this person sitting next to you and you guys are just a transaction. Still know what you're attracted to and who you're attracted to, but when it comes along, don't give it all the baggage from the past. It doesn't deserve it. It's not its fault. But talk about it. Talk about the baggage you've accumulated and talk about how you sorted it. Because I would much rather open a suitcase of baggage and it's nice and folded and put away versus opening it and it's already just a big old mess and it's just squished in there, and now we got to pull each item out and try to figure out where it goes, versus you doing that before you come to me. Because again, everyone's going to have baggage. It ain't going nowhere. Baggage is not a bad thing, but how you organize it, it can become a little bit hectic, and that's what again makes the pressure of meeting someone and dating them so hard. I've seen many friends do this where they picked on me for not like settling down right away, but I also noticed how they picked people, jumped in right away, and then they found out about their partner as they went along, but it made it a lot harder versus just getting to know them in the beginning, having that bit of slow burn just for a minute, and then learning each other, and then agreeing to say, yes, this is who I want to introduce into my life. So that's what I mean by there's no special remedy. You just have to know that you are ready and prepared, and when they come along, you do the motions that you're supposed to do to keep everything balanced and cohesive in a teammate, team player type of exchange. It has to be reciprocal. When it's not reciprocal, which is what people are talking about, is when one person not only takes on the emotional, then they take on the physical, and they take on the financial. That's a lot for one human being, right? Even if you took one out, take the financial out, just physical and emotional. If you're taking on all of your family stuff, all of your work stuff, everybody around you, you're taking it on, and then you're trying to process a relationship, that's a lot on anyone, especially if you've never dealt with your actual emotions about what you need, deserve, desire, and then you're going to try to meet someone based on lust only. And yeah, you might get your skeet, skeet, bang, bang in, but afterwards you're like looking at this person like, why are they here? I don't even really like them. They don't even have anything interesting to say. I am not emotionally attracted to them, right? You were physically attracted to them, and then you jumped into a relationship and gave it a title. Don't do that. You can, but it's going to be a lot harder. I want to take that back. I want to say you can't do that. It will work. You just got to do a lot more work in it. And for me, I like to do the work on the outside, make sure the structure is built solid, and then I will go in with my partner and we can be fine. And if there's some renovations to do while we're inside, swimming around in our little womb, then we can patch it. But what you don't want to do is just be in a womb and you never check the outside. So then you go out and you realize this whole time this womb had no protection. So anybody can come along and pop it like a balloon. And that's why most people, when they go rushing in and falling in love, it hurts. Grow in love. Take on that moment that you recognize you have space to let that person bring their baggage in. But before they walk through that door, you make sure they organize that shit first. I wish you the best. Besos.